Hello, my beaver friends. All right, the beaver is your significator today, and if that applies to you, or if this reading is for you, you are a hard worker, loyal, tireless, family first. The beaver personality is a welcomed sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family, and express it by way of the earth element, providing a home and financial stability. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term, steady effort. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga. In parentheses, selfless service. Okay, so not the stretching, physical exercise kind. When in balance, happy, meaningful work. When out of balance, feels useless and worn out. To bring into balance, physical labor and selfless service. All right, so that's your significator. The tea leaf cards are here, of course, to confirm this is your reading, and they should not be a surprise to you. These should all be things that you already know. So we have the lion. Time to act. You must have a feeling that you need to act now. And it seems to be in regard to a misunderstanding, or we have pale, time to get out of a situation. So those are the two around the lion. The time to act. You really feel the need to deal with something, maybe more than one something. A period of ill health, perhaps depression. That's what's specified here, so it may not be physical ill health. And we have plenty of material things, waiting for news, package, or letter. So you are in a good place financially, materially. I'm not saying you're wealthy by any means, just that you're stable. Now, your seventh card. I don't always pull a seventh card, but if they come out, here they are. Yours is karma. You will reap what you have sown. It's interesting how often karma has come up for you in this reading already. So, karma yoga, selfless service, but you are the beaver, so this should be something that is within your means to do. Okay. Let's see what tarot has to say to you. And I'm going to go with the animal tarot, the Orient animal tarot. All right, my beaver friends, what do you need to know? Or what is going on with you that you want to talk about? Interesting. You got the Eight of Wands, in a crossing position, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Eight of Pentacles in the upright is about mastering a craft. It's about doing the hard work, about being diligent. I mean, you're the beaver. This should be your strong suit, your wheelhouse. You should be very good at persisting, even though it may be boring, even though it may take a really, really long time, and just go on and on and on. But you have it in reverse, so you're not doing it. You have the Four of Pentacles. Perhaps you're not being as careful as you should be. You're not holding back. Very interesting. This is very unbeaver-like. So where the beaver, the beaver can be perhaps a little miserly, but you have the Eight of Pentacles, so you're not doing, this is just, you're not doing your work, which isn't like you, beaver. What's going on? And we have the Eight of Wands. I don't think there's any movement for you. And Strength. So you seem to be more than a little conflicted here. You are not a happy beaver. You may be a very scarcity mindset kind of beaver at the moment. You did have this period of depression, so maybe that's what's going on here. You really need to work through these issues around your pentacles, your material world, perhaps your income, perhaps finances, perhaps just a general sense of instability, dissatisfaction. So this is bird perched, waiting for news, package, letter. This is news or a variety of possibilities, rapid change, rapid growth. That definitely could be news or a message coming in, again, rapidly. But if it were in the upright, it is in the crossing position, so it is not exactly definite how this is going to come in, if it's going to be what you expect. And perhaps that's what's got you disturbed, unsettled. So things should be picking up speed. This is, again, this is confirming your sense that it's time to act. This is saying that, yes, it is time to act, but you're not acting. Whether it's out of fear or a reluctance to do the work. And then we have strength. And also in a crossing position, so this is about not valuing or understanding the softer things, the soft skills, compassion, understanding, active listening, compassion for yourself, compassion for others, being, you don't always have to be strong and tough. In fact, that is not, being tough is not necessarily strong. It's a good way to become brittle. And brittle is not strong. It's just very breakable, obviously. So, my beaver friends, you seem to have headed off in a very different direction than is natural to you, honestly. And I think you are being called back. But let's see what the universe wants to say to you. The importance of communication, negotiation, making contact, being nervous. So perhaps there's something in your life, some sort of conversation, communication that you need to have that is making you very nervous. And you are having difficulty containing your emotions over this whole thing. Whatever this thing is that you're being called to move on, this miscommunication, right? We had miscommunication here. It's making you nervous. You're having trouble being calm about it. So for someone with ADHD, sometimes making contact can be very difficult. It's just a burden that it's hard to describe. It's a lot of effort. So maybe you have ADHD and you have this problem with communicating with people even when you really care about them, and that can result in a lot of hurt feelings. They may feel that you don't care about them because you haven't shown it. All right, storm brewing. You are very concerned about your finances. Maybe this communication that you need to do has to do with finances. But we have over and done the end. Perfect timing. Is now the perfect time to move, or is this pressure that you're putting on yourself unnecessary? Resolve, purpose, focus, concentration, resilience. Take determined action, strength, persistence. Strike while the iron's hot. It does seem like now is the time for you to be communicating with someone about something. Or maybe not. I don't know. We have foggy glasses. I think there's a real strong desire for a happy beginning, a new day, hope, clarity, but you don't have it. You are lacking clarity. All right, that's fair enough. But what should you be doing? Selfless service, perhaps? Let's see. Some kind of situation with friends has not turned out well. A red herring. You expected this to turn out well. You thought this was a true friend, perhaps a soulmate. Soulmates can be friends, they don't have to be romantic at all. But it turned into illness, fatigue, stress, decay, anxiety, waste, worry, irritation. Right now, you're feeling like the whole thing was a waste. But, interesting. Once again, we have a card dealing with clarity. So, misleading information. You didn't listen to your inner guidance. You followed this false flag. and you did not end up somewhere you wanted to be. So, that's the past. What about now? It looks like you're still looking for clarity and possibly health. Connection to source. It looks like a call to look to the spiritual for guidance. Self-expression. Speak your mind, be bold. Well, that is necessary for communication. We have communicate here. Be bold, be heard, speak your mind. Pursue your own path. You're going to have to learn how to be true to yourself. You've been very family focused, and maybe this is why you ended up making the choices you did. But not all families are healthy or supportive. So we have a volatile situation, trouble, hostile environment, getting stung, danger, discord, aggression, watch out, conflict, anger, actions have consequences. Perhaps this is stimulating you or inspiring you to pursue your own path. And I can see you being reluctant to do this. This may be the Eight of Pentacles that you don't want to do. Finding your own way. Perhaps finding your own way. You're following your inner guidance. I think it felt like the wrong direction to you. Because it probably led you away from your family. Well, you need to get in touch with your inner knowing, your true path, your inner guidance, perhaps your core values. That might be simpler for you. If something is in alignment with your core values, whatever those are, it shouldn't matter who is involved. If it's not in alignment with your core values, it's not in alignment with you. So that might help you with decision making, being true to yourself. I'm going to get a couple of archetype cards. The King. This is number 12. Anything else? The Mirror. I think that one just came out a couple days ago. Well, let's see. What do these cards have to say to you? So the King is 12. The Mirror is 48. Starting with 12. The King, the ruler, the commander, the emperor. If our lives are imagined as a kingdom containing the entire spectrum of human experience, the King presides over it all. Through the lens of the King, we assess the state of our land, make decisions, and rule accordingly. Therefore, the king must be thoroughly and regularly vetted so as to avoid corruption. Recognize the dual nature of the king. He is either seated in benevolence and strength, guiding you toward peace, or he is oppressing the weak out of a need to control. There's not much middle ground. Some think of the king as the ultimate expression of the ego, yet the great kings of mythology and history serve from an egoless place. They take their throne with grace and humility, knowing the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing discrepancies in the kingdom. So how good are you at my humility? Beavers should be pretty good at it. When light, benevolence, divine leadership, service, nobility. Service again for you. When dark, oppression, misuse of power, corruption. Once the king's relationship to divinity is broken or challenged, he often acts from a place of fear, scrambling to uphold his image and power. The king is necessary. He is a bridge between the eternal and the day-to-day. It is said that it is necessary for the king to die. Ooh. This is a death of ego. So perhaps you are going through a dark night of the soul. That would be in alignment with the depression card. And you're probably looking at yourself in the mirror and not particularly liking what you see. All right, let's see what we've got for the mirror. Oh, it's not 48. What am I saying? It's 68. Sorry. Here we go. The reflection, the illusion, the looking glass. We look into mirrors every day without recognizing them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in a pool and fell in love with his own image. So compelled by his reflection, he could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. Recognize the power and danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. See? Inner guidance. That's what matters, not the mirror. When light, witnessing the deeper self, pure awareness. When dark, narcissism, comparison, harsh edges. Speak to yourself gently and kindly in the mirror. It will feel awkward at first, but it is a sure way to become friends with yourself. For further reflections, read the poem I Am Not I by Juan Jimenez and Yoko Ono's Mirror piece in Grapefruit. All right. So, I think you are deep in self-reflection, in perhaps a dark night of the soul. A healthy ego is a good thing to have. It's not that you want to. It's not that your ego has to die entirely. You need it to have good boundaries. But if you have had an overinflated ego, that could be a problem. It's possible you haven't had enough of an ego. Your ego has been too weak to defend you, and you have been overly influenced by others, particularly family. So, I am wishing you all the best. I am also hoping that you find whatever help you need to get you through this. It looks like you are on an exploration probably of yourself. And you are not surrounded by a supportive environment. So if you have the means, I hope you can find someone who will be on your side, perhaps a therapist. Don't be afraid to try more than one. If the first or one or two or whatever aren't in alignment with you, that doesn't mean there's no one out there. It just means they're not the right ones. In any case, I am wishing you all the best. Oh, right. You should journal. Lots and lots of journaling. Many people swear by it, including me. It is enormously helpful when you're going through this kind of thing. So that would be my suggestion. Journal. Stay active. That's the other thing I suggest. Whether it's just taking walks outside in your neighborhood or taking some sort of exercise class, stay active. I'm wishing you all the best.